The rain hammered the porch roof like distant applause as I stood facing my mother on the steps of the house that had sheltered 4 generations. Victoria Langford's designer coat was already damp, her perfectly highlighted hair starting to frizz. Behind her, Marcus gripped a folder of documents like it was a winning lottery ticket, and Lila bounced on her toes with that familiar, entitled gleam in her eyes. "Sophia, sweetie," Victoria said, her voice honey over broken glass. "It's time. This house belongs to me now. Your grandparents made sure of it before they passed." I felt the weight of the keys in my pocket, the trust documents filed months earlier burning like a quiet promise in my mind. The historic Victorian on Pearl Street in Denver's Capitol Hill neighborhood loomed behind me, its limestone facade weathered by Colorado winters, copper gutters verdigris with age, original stained glass transoms catching the gray afternoon light. My great-grandfather had built it in 1924 from his silver mining fortune. Every brick held whispers of birthday parties under the maple trees, Christmas Eves by the fireplace, afternoons where my grandmother taught me to needlepoint while my grandfather read case law aloud. They never saw me as the quiet girl in sensible flats at the small estate planning firm. I was the one who listened, documented, waited, while Victoria chased opportunities across the country and Marcus chased deals that always seemed one signature from millions. I watched my grandparents slowly bleed their retirement away. The house wasn't just property, it was the last anchor of love in a family that treated blood like a business contract. The first cracks appeared when I was 8. My grandparents threw me a garden party with handmade invitations and a pony from the neighbor's stable. Victoria arrived 3 hours late, perfume thick with airport gin, laughing too loud with the other parents. When Grandma reminded her about the gift, Victoria waved it off. "I'll wire it to her college fund instead." That fund was as real as her promises. Empty. Marcus arrived later with spreadsheets, pitching a revolutionary app for vacation rentals that never launched beyond a sketch on a napkin. Each failure blamed on markets, partners, timing. Never himself. Lila, my half-sister 14 years younger, learned the family playbook early. At 12, I caught her in my room pocketing my grandmother's antique locket. When confronted, she ran sobbing to Marcus, who lectured me about family sharing. The pattern repeated: long absences, chasing wealth seminars in Miami or investment retreats in Vegas. Then sudden returns with crisis stories and pleas for bridge loans from the retirement accounts. My grandparents, products of a generation that valued handshakes and loyalty, wrote checks, sold bonds, refinanced quietly. I documented every transaction from my third-floor bedroom, the one with the window seat overlooking the rose garden. Law books replaced storybooks. My grandfather, a former county judge, noticed. "Knowledge is the one inheritance no one can steal," he'd say, sliding volumes across his oak desk. Law school at the University of Colorado became my fortress-building education. I specialized in elder law, studying irrevocable trusts like sacred texts. These instruments created unbreakable walls. Once funded, assets were shielded from creditors, manipulation, even family pressure. The settler couldn't revoke them lightly. I wrote papers on financial exploitation, interned at firms handling contested estates, watched families fracture over money. One case stayed with me, a daughter who set up an irrevocable trust for her mother just before a gambling-addicted brother forced a deed transfer. The trust held. My plan crystallized when Victoria called about a exclusive networking retreat in Miami. 3 weeks away. The ask came, $60,000 for seed capital. Grandma's voice trembled, explaining liquidity was gone. Victoria's tone sharpened. "I know what this house is worth. Don't be selfish." That night, helping Grandpa sort papers, I found the folder, partially completed quitclaim deeds, power of attorney forms, a new will favoring Victoria exclusively, practice signatures traced in shaky attempts matching Grandpa's hand, a developer's card noted quick close, cash buyer. My hand shook photographing it all. With 3 weeks, I moved. Consulting senior partner Elena Vargas. We drafted the Donovan Waite Reynolds Family Irrevocable Trust. I would serve as trustee with fiduciary duty. Grandparents retained lifetime use and modest income distributions. Victoria would receive a fixed monthly stipend, enough for basics, none for schemes. Assets transferred. The house valued at $2.8 million by 3 appraisers. Remaining investments. Personal property cataloged and photographed. Physicians certified mental capacity. Signing occurred at the firm with witnesses. Notary. Court reporter. Documents filed. Banks notified. Originals vaulted. The trust snapped shut like a steel trap. Unchangeable. Impenetrable. Grandpa's massive coronary hit 3 weeks later while working in his study. I held Grandma as paramedics worked futilely. Victoria cut her Miami trip short, grief performative for 1 hour before asking about the will. Marcus already measured windows for renovations. The funeral brought real friends, church couples, retired judges, neighbors sharing stories of integrity and quiet generosity. Victoria's eulogy felt scripted. Phone checks between tears. Lila took selfies, captioning about family legacy while hinting at coming trust funds. Grandma followed within 6 weeks, her body simply surrendering after decades together. Victoria arrived the next morning with a locksmith. "This is my house now. Pack your things." Marcus pushed past measuring rooms. Lila rented a U-Haul with movers. They swarmed like locusts, post-it notes claiming antiques, calling estate sale companies, contacting realtors. Victoria rifled Grandpa's files, emerging triumphant with the forged will and power of attorney. Marcus produced a quitclaim deed supposedly signed by Grandma days after hospital admission for advanced dementia, handwriting nothing like hers. They were so certain, confident the grieving daughter would inherit everything. I recorded every word, texted Elena, kept my face neutral. "We should review properly," I suggested calmly. Marcus laughed. "Fast-track probate. Dinner here before the sale." That night they left triumphant. Monday morning brought the storm. Victoria in a rented luxury SUV. Marcus in his leased sedan. Lila with movers and their disbarment-prone attorney Derek Klein from a strip mall office. Developer in tow with cash offer. Security company. Photographer ready. I met them on the porch in Grandma's gardening apron. Deliberately vulnerable looking. Documents waved. Forged signatures presented. I reviewed slowly, pointing flaws aloud for gathering neighbors, well dated after ICU admission. Deed with steady hand despite arthritis records. Then, recordings played, dinner conversations planning the fraud. Victoria's voice clear. "Claire, Sophia is too naive to fight. Produce documents after they're gone." Gasps from neighbors. Phones recording. Derek shifted uncomfortably, but Victoria laughed it off as edited. That's when Elena arrived with team and court officer. The property and all assets worth $2.8 million were placed in the Reynolds Family Irrevocable Trust 3 months ago. Sophia Reynolds is trustee. Victoria's face drained. Impossible. I would have known. No. The assets were never hers. Grandparents chose protection. Certified copies distributed. Lifetime income interest, $3,200 monthly starting next month. Principal untouchable. Forged documents handed over, felonies, forgery, fraud, elder abuse, conspiracy. Silence fell heavy. Victoria lunged toward me. Nails aimed. Court officer intervened. Video played of Grandpa, clear-eyed, explaining exploitation over years. Choosing trust to honor true values. Preserve legacy for me who cared without price tags. Developer vanished. Movers packed equipment. Klein distanced himself, claiming ignorance. Lila turned on her mother. You promised the bedroom set. Acting money. Arguments erupted between them. Police arrived for statements. No immediate arrest, but warning to vacate. As they left, Victoria hissed, You'll regret this. Family sticks together. I replied softly, Family doesn't come with price tags. Neighbors hugged me. Mrs. Alvarez from next door whispered Grandma would be proud. Alone that evening, I walked rooms touching memories, Grandpa's pipe tobacco scent on books. Unfinished needlepoint roses. Wedding photo of young hopefuls who never imagined betrayal by their daughter. The trust executed flawlessly. First payment deposited. Protected from creditors. Victoria's lifestyle crashed. Modest apartment. Generic groceries. Marcus left for Texas evading charges. Lila's GoFundMe failed quickly. She took retail work. Dreams deferred. Criminal proceedings unfolded deliberately. Victoria pled to reduce charges, attempted fraud. Elder abuse, 5 years probation. Community service at senior center. Poetic. Derek Klein disbarred. Selling insurance. Forged documents fueled broader Illinois. No. Colorado. Investigation into elder exploitation patterns. Protecting others. I remained guardian of the house. Now trust property. Converted third floor to free legal aid clinic for seniors fearing family theft. Library hosts support groups sharing betrayal stories. Healing journeys. Garden blooms with Grandma's roses. Maintained by trust-funded gardener. Income sustains taxes. Maintenance. Funds elder law scholarships at my alma mater. Late nights. Solitude ways. Rooms echo kindness. Patience. Belief family meant more than DNA. I never married. No children. Some call it lonely with ghosts. I see purpose. Permission granted to protect self. Prioritize well-being over toxic bonds. Last grocery encounter. Victoria counted coupons in discount clothes. Our eyes met across aisle. She turned away. The true loss wasn't money or house, but discarded love. Genuine connection traded for lies and schemes. The mansion on Pearl Street endures. Fortress against greed. I guard honoring memory. Love triumphs. Bonds unbuyable. Justice prevails quietly through preparation and law. Sometimes doubt creeps. Too harsh? Gentler path preserving relationship? Then memories surface. Grandma's tears over missing purse cash. Grandpa's shame borrowing from colleagues. Fear realizing protectors plotted theft. House stands monument to real legacy values. Strength to confront exploitation, even by blood. Every elderly client reminds, family doesn't entitle destruction. The story lingers in quiet moments, asking what we owe blood versus self-preservation. When loyalty becomes enabling. If justice feels cold but necessary.